What is up, guys? Dirk here with a long overdue update on the Bitcoin charts and the markets. It has been an insanely boring last couple of weeks with the price just chopping around, altcoins bleeding, and we still don't really have any clarity on what is going to happen. So in this video, I want to share with you my thoughts on the levels that I'm watching, that I'm looking for confirmation if we are going to get bullish continuation or if this trend is going to break and we get a bearish reversal. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Dirk. Hit the subscribe button down below. Follow my page on Instagram and make sure to leave a comment if you have any questions or want to share anything that I might miss when doing these updates. Alright, so you can see here Bitcoin is trading at $61,800, and the very simple thing to start with is the 3-day chart. This 50 simple moving average here in blue on the 3-day chart, that is what I'm watching for a confirmation of a bearish or bullish trend. As long as the price is above this 3-day 50 moving average, I'm still bullish. The higher time frame trend is bullish. You can go back, you can find yourself a chart of Bitcoin. Bitstamp is usually the best exchange chart to look for the data because it goes back the furthest. And if you go and do this, you will see that back in previous cycles, as long as the price stayed above the 3-day 50 moving average, the trend was bullish, and this would just be a healthy correction in an otherwise bullish trend on the higher time frame, and that is so far still the case. So this is currently sitting at $56,000. As long as the price of Bitcoin stays above $56,000, then we are still in a correction here that could potentially still run back up and continue to new all-time highs. Now, the condition for losing this trend and for me flipping bearish would be to get 2 consecutive closes below the 3-day 50 moving average. The reason for that is that it prevents potential fake outs, because you could get a wick to 55, 53, maybe even 50, and if it runs back up and it doesn't close below it, that might just be a liquidation hunt, a stop hunt, and it can still continue higher. Now, let's look at what is really happening over here. If we zoom in a little bit more, we could potentially here be in this channel that you can see where it went from the wick high to the wick low. We swept it and we're still just kind of consolidating here. So it is completely possible that we just spend a bit more time here and then off to the races and continue higher. Now, of course, to be able to see that, we'd have to zoom in on lower time frames, and the real key to get that sort of confirmation would be here to get above this level, because that would technically mean we would create a higher high, which would, in technical terms on this chart, change the structure of this going from short-term sell-off correction to potentially a new trend. And that level is 65.5. So we need to get above $65,500 before we can start to consider a run back up to 74. Now, one interesting thing that I noticed here, which is something to keep an eye on, if we copy this price action here in the bear market, okay, so this tool here on TradingView, it allows me to copy the price action, and what I can do now, this is the inverse, so we want to turn it around, which is something that we can do very easily. Okay, we can turn it around like this, so we've inverted it, and if we do this, look at how similar this really is to this current price action. You can see here. So this, remember here, this red bar that I copied over here, it is the inverse of this. And the reason why is price can only do so much. It can go up, down, or sideways. So what you often see is repetitions of patterns within patterns, fractals they're called, and you see a lot of similarities between previous price action, and we can play around with that a little bit, again, just for fun. But look how similar this is. A big run up, a high, a lower high, a sweep of the lows, and then a big move to the upside. That's exactly what we're seeing over here so far in the price action. We had a big run up, a high, drop, lower high, a sweep of the lows, and now the question is going to be, do we get this run up? And if you overlay this, look how perfectly that is. And you can be like, yeah, I'm trying to make it fit. Well, sure, but look at the similarities, right? So the cool thing here is also it would line up with, as long as it stays above this 3-day 50 moving average at 56K, maybe this is exactly what's playing out. And maybe, as long as this holds, right, that's the key. If the 3-day 50 moving average holds, then we might be seeing this, and the next move up might be an explosive move to new all-time highs. So In my opinion, everything is very much dependent on Bitcoin. Yes, I know altcoins have sold off much more percentage-wise. That's generally what tends to happen. They outperform to the upside when everything's in a bull market, and when Bitcoin is in a corrective phase or a bearish trend, then altcoins tend to overperform to the downside, which is what we're seeing. But the most important thing is the Bitcoin high time frame, longer trend still bullish, yes or no? If the answer is yes, which according to this system, I believe it is, then it's just a matter of time before that continues higher. And then once the liquidity starts to move in again, it's very possible that altcoins will have a massive run again to the upside. But we need Bitcoin to hold here. And ideally, we need Bitcoin to run back to 74,000 and beyond, like this potential pattern would suggest, because then we would really see everyone get more confidence, start putting money back into altcoins, and we'd probably see a big pump across the whole market. So to keep things simple, because there's not much to update other than this, keep an eye on Bitcoin. We need to see this month of May, what is going to happen, how is the monthly candle going to close. As long as the price stays above this 3-day 50 moving average, so above 56,000, there is a chance this is playing out, and that would kind of be the optimal place to look for longs, right? Somewhere even between here, between 62 and 56. For spot positions, of course, with leverage, it's completely different because you have to be able to withstand those wicks to the downside. But this is completely a possibility, and this is hopefully what I think we're going to get. If that changes, of course, 2 consecutive closes below the 3-day 50 moving average invalidates this, so below 56,000, and I will do another update and have to reassess what would come next. But for now, high time frame is still bullish. I'm looking for 56K to hold, and if we do get this next move to the upside, I'm looking for it to take us to 74,000 and beyond, probably new all-time highs. So let me know in the comments, what do you think down below? Do you think we are still in a bullish trend? Do you think the market is over? Do you think the bear market has started? Let me know in the comments, smash the like button, and I'll see you in the next video.